Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sugar and this is the second episode of my educational Starcraft videos. Today I want to explain how to optimize your Starcraft settings and also your mouse settings. In the next episode I will maybe talk about keyboard settings and hotkeys. This guide is dedicated to beginners and more advanced players who never thought about their mouse configuration. It happens more often than you think. Most people play with defaults. First, let's take a look at some Starcraft settings. In the graphics menu, you should set the display mode to full screen or windowed full screen. If you use pure full screen mode, you have to set the resolution to the same as the desktop. This is really important. Also, the refresh rate should be the same as on the desktop. Our goal is to have the same mouse behavior on Windows and Starcraft. If you play in windowed full screen mode, Starcraft takes the same settings as your desktop. In the voice menu, you can disable the voice chat because almost nobody uses it. In the controls menu, you should disable the mouse sensitivity so Starcraft will use the mouse sensitivity of your Windows desktop. I will explain later why this is important. You should disable the mouse wheel zoom or the Windows shortcuts if you accidentally hit them. The mouse wheel zoom is not that useful anyways. A really important setting is the speed of the mouse scroll. The mouse scroll is the scrolling that happens if you hit the borders of your screen. The standard setting is way too slow. Try to find a speed that you are comfortable with. You can increase it step by step and your gameplay will improve. The next important setting is, in my opinion, the gameplay menu. You should always see the health bars of units. This makes macros so much easier and you need no button press to show the bars. Some beginner players forget to display the build grid. It shows a yellow grid around buildings and objects. This helps closing walls a lot. While playing, you can plan ahead by knowing the size of buildings. For example, a gateway needs 4 fields and a pylon only 1, and so on. To make the user interface more clean, you can disable the menu bar and the control groups, so you have more vision. To reach the menu bar, you can press F10. You should take a look into the key bindings anyway. Some of the beginners don't know that there is a game timer available. It shows above the minimap. It can help you by knowing some key timings, like I want to attack at 70 minutes, or I know there can be Mutalisks at 12 minutes, and so on. In the last menu, you can set your status to busy while playing a match, so you do not see any distracting whispers from your last bad-mannered opponent while playing. Now I go into a more advanced topic, the mouse settings. In the description I added a link where you can download a zip file that contains files we need. You should extract those files first. The package contains a README text file, some registry files, a command file and a zipped application called Mouse Movement Recorder. We double-click the .cmd file and a window pops up. Now we have to type the name of our system in, either XP plus Vista or Windows 7. I use Windows 7. In the next window it wants to know the DPI we use on our system. The default is 100%, but how we know this? On Windows 7 go to Start, then click Control Panel and go to Appearance and Personalization. Then go to Adjust Screen Resolution. There's 100%, 125% and 150%. Now it asks us for the mouse speed in our Windows settings. The default is 6 and you have to check your settings too. You can find the settings in the control panel, again under Hardware and Sound. There you can find the mouse settings. Move the slider to 6 of 11 and disable the mouse acceleration. In the next window it asks us about the scaling factor. Keep the default 1:1. Because this is our goal, we want mouse movement with 1:1 scaling. In the next window you can save a generated file to your desktop. Now you have to accept all of the 1000 following queries and reboot your computer. For now you are done, we got rid of mouse acceleration. To check if everything gone well, we launch the application Mouse Movement Recorder. We move our mouse in the center of the desktop around without hitting the borders of the desktop. If there are no red or green lines shown in the application, our settings are fine. Now we have a one-to-one scaling between our mouse input and the actual movement of the cursor. The next step is to adjust the speed of our mouse. We use the DPI settings in our mouse driver to adjust the actual speed. You have to go into the mouse driver application. I use the Logitech G9 and those are my settings. I use 1600 DPI for gaming. This translates into the actual speed. Higher values result in a faster cursor movement, lower values in a slower cursor movement. Note that the X and Y axis have the same ratio. I disabled the use of the operation system driver and set the speed, which is actually a scaling, to the center, which means one-to-one scaling. I set acceleration to 0. You can set the polling rate to 1 kHz. Modern computers support this polling rate. What it means is that your mouse responds faster. You shouldn't notice the difference, but it doesn't hurt anyways on faster PCs. In the first time you will feel a little uncomfortable with acceleration, but over time you notice the advantage. Your mouse is more predictable and you can play faster. Thank you for watching and see you next time.